So, a little bit of news and speculation going on is that Derrick Rose may be returning to Chicago and leaving the Minnesota Timberwolves. Well, I don't know about that, but it is an interesting story. Hey, what's up everybody? Michael here. Welcome back to yet another video. Sorry about the camera angle, it was a little weird, so I moved it back. Welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to talk about a little rumor, but also a news article that I read about the possibility of Derrick Rose returning to Chicago. Now, if you guys don't know, Derrick Rose is probably one of the most underrated guards in the league right now, and for good reason. I've been a Derrick Rose fan since the New York Knicks, when he played for the Knicks, I believe for only a season. Then he went to the Cavaliers, and then he was traded off to the Timberwolves, and now he's on the Timberwolves. I've been following Derrick Rose since the tragic injury he suffered, and it has been downhill for this poor kid. Derrick Rose has been through an emotional ride, from injury that derailed his career to being considered a letdown, to leaving the Cavaliers, taking time off basketball to negotiate whether this is what he wants to do. Well, now his career is picking back up because Derrick Rose right now is on a roll, averaging 19 points a game, 5 rebounds, I believe, and 6 assists. I will redo the stats. These are just coming off the top of my head, but I know for a fact that 19 points coming off the bench for Minnesota, and right now he is great. I think that he right now is showing potential and showing that how much everybody loves him, and voting polls showing for the All-Star game that he is second in place. It shows that he will not only be an All-Star, but he is an All-Star level calibrated player. And I think that that's something that needs to be noted. Derrick Rose was always an All-Star, and he won MVP in Chicago, and he got them to the playoffs, and it would have been cool to see what Derrick Rose would have been able to do had that injury not have happened. But we can't talk about that. Let's talk about the report that is saying that Derrick Rose is leaving Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, obviously this is a fake article, but it's just a possibility of what could have happened if Derrick Rose decides to leave the Minnesota Timberwolves and go back to Chicago. Now, there's no rumors, there's no confirmation of anything of sorts. This is just a what-if scenario that I read online, and I just wanted to talk about it. If Derrick Rose was to go back to Chicago, I don't know if he would be that much of a big difference. Because keep in mind, Derrick Rose is a great player. He's one of the best players that I'm seeing in the league right now. He's definitely a candidate for 6th Man of the Year. But he would need another player to kind of elevate him to help and assist. Because you got to remember, he has an injury, so he's going to need backup. Now, they do have Zach LaVine, but Zach LaVine is still not enough to keep the Chicago Bulls. Now, they're doing really bad this season. They've been doing bad for a while. They're 13th right now as of this video. We'll see where they end up. But it would be interesting. I think he could turn the team around. He can definitely help improve, but he needs a few players behind his back if he was to go. I could see him going back to Chicago because that's where he came. He was born and raised in Chicago. He was drafted by Chicago, his hometown. He put up the same points and calibrations that he played back in Minnesota. He's playing in Minnesota now, the same stuff that he did back in 2012, I believe. My stats are probably going to be a little off because my iPad unfortunately died, so everything is, I'm just going off memory right now, so bear with me. But he is a great player, phenomenal athlete, and I just felt so bad for him when that injury came. And now that he's starting to get his career back, it is only showing how rewarding it is, and I hope that he stays that way, and I'm rooting for him all the way. But if he goes back to Chicago, I would say he would have to go back if he was planning to retire, or if he just wanted to go back. Because right now, I don't see him leaving the Timberwolves, because as of now, they're starting to pick up the pace. They're almost a championship team, but with the exclusion of Jimmy Butler, you can kind of see that that's not the case anymore, because Jimmy Butler obviously played a key role in Minnesota. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that Derrick Rose going back to Chicago would have to be for 2 conditions: if he really wanted to go back, or if he's ready to retire. But he is not even in the combo yet of retirement. He's still in his prime. I think that he should go back to Chicago, but somewhere down the road. Not right away. He's still on a great team with the Minnesota Timberwolves. You got Andrew Wiggins, Karl-Anthony Towns. You've got 2 great calibrated players right there. Or I say calibrated. But you got 2 great, phenomenal players there. And with Derrick Rose, you got a triples team right there. Got to pick up the game, but I can see them making the playoffs. Just seeing how Derrick Rose stays healthy, that we'll have to see. He had a 50-point game, so that just shows he can pull up any night. And he's playing like an all-star, so the rewards for him, it should be fun to see. And I think he deserves a spot on the all-star team. But I want to know your thoughts. Do you see Derrick Rose going back to Chicago? Let me know down below. Do you think that's a possibility? Do you think that's going to happen? If you like what you see in the video, subscribe, like, comment as always, and turn on notifications. And yes, I will be covering more shit tomorrow. But that's going to do it. Thanks for watching, and peace.
It ain't my fault.